Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the New England Patriots. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give to Collins. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 11. Flushed out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now, that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So that drive 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
This will be caught by Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Being chased out left. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Curtis. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Patriots. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Anderson. Throwing again. Steps away to his left. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. James, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
What we got? X3, 218, chop, deep grip.
Out of the gun now on third down. Flush to his right. That's complete. It's Collins. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw's going to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over in your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. Here's a first down run with Collins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
Go now. 18 Gator, Bristol, travel. I'm going to come back to you.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Anderson escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Anderson from the gun, he'll throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. from 19 yards away as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did. They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Sliding out of the pocket. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Looking to throw on second down. Anderson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 17-14. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They'll run on first down. It's Brooks, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Anderson, eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. Here's Anderson, operating from the gun. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Anderson now to throw on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A big play there. with touchdown number 12 on the year. And once again, the Patriots are back out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On first down, Brooks. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Throwing on first down, Anderson. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives him a 3-point lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running out of the gun, Collins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Rolling to his... And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Operating from the gun. Anderson flushed out right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they will finally catch him, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 41 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, get into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He finds his man complete. It's Morgan. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right. And his throw here's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
60 Pittsburgh. Let's go, D.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do. But a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play. And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll try the right side with Collins.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 24-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 24. And they'll get this down to the 10. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. They're going to look to throw. They'll roll him out, and this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for New England, they get back to 500 now as the win moves them to 7-7. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you